Hey guys, it's a girl Tash. Wagwan, what a guan. To all my subscribers, big up on yourself. You don't know up. So guys, as promised, I am now finally posting this video tutorial, since like over a month ago. Since I showed you the preview on my social media, I've just come around to posting it. So as you can see, I'm cutting off the dreadlocks, but I'm not cutting them too far down onto the root. I'm just cutting them to a point where I know that I'll have enough hair to braid. So I want to have enough hair left on the scalp to braid. So there's nothing on top of the head. There's absolutely nothing on top of the head. It's barely enough hair for me to work with. I barely have enough hair at the front of the head at the top to braid over the baldness in the crown. There's barely enough hair there. But having enough hair on the side of the head to work with will help me to achieve the style that I want to achieve. So that's why I am very careful not to cut off too much hair on from the side when I'm removing the locks. So when I'm cutting off the locks, I just try to make sure that I have enough hair to work with on the side so that I can pull off this hairstyle. So this is a big transformation for my client because he had his locks for years now. And yes, he's a first time client actually because I don't do locks. So this is a big transformation for him coming to me, obviously because I work with hair loss and I work with short hair. So I wanted to show you guys how I combed out the hair after removing the dreadlocks, but unfortunately I lost some of my footages. I lost some of my clips. So in this tutorial, I just didn't get to show you guys how I combed out the knots after removing the dreadlocks and remove all the residue and everything. So I apologize for that. And also, I had to skip where I braided the hair on the side as well because I lost those footages. But most importantly, I'm showing you guys in slow motion how I braid the top of the head, which is the most difficult part to braid. So at least I was able to show you guys this. And I know the clips are a bit blurry. As I said, some of the clips didn't come out properly and some of them I lost. But you can see what I'm doing. Just feeding in the braids, and the extensions that I'm using is my Grip Game Afro Straight Hair extension. And I can't stress how much this hair helps when it comes to gripping on very short hair or gripping on hair textures that are very soft. I can't stress it. This Afro Straight Hair is amazing. It gives me a firm grip. It really helps my grip because as you can see, the client don't even have that much hair on top to work with anyways. So this hair is really going to give, it's been giving me that grip at the front of the head where the hair is very thin and it's very short at the same time. So I'm gonna ask my client like just to hold the braid at the front of the head as soon as I get that secured. So now it's secured and he's holding it, and I'm just feeding in more pieces of hair as I go along just to get the full coverage that I want to go over the baldness. So it's very hard to grip in those small pieces of hair. So I am using a lot of tension to get over the small pieces of hair and to get that coverage over the baldness, and just to make sure that the hairstyle lasts my client some time. So I'm not using that much tension to break the hair, and that's why I asked my client to hold the hair at the hairline to hold on to the braids at the hairline so that I don't pull too hard enough to break off the hair from the hairline, because I'm not trying to break the hair. I'm trying to help the hair to grow. And by gripping it with the right amount of tension and braiding it like this, it's really going to help the hair to grow. And I will be updating you on this client's hair journey. It's just because, as I said, I lost a few of the footages that I recorded, and some of them didn't come out as clear as I would want them to come out. But I'm glad that I was able to just show it to you more in details and just explain to you guys what I'm doing here to achieve the coverage for this transformation. So I'm doing here the same thing that I did previously, securing the braid at the hairline, and then I'm asking my client to hold onto the braid, and then I'm just feeding in the hair to achieve the volume that I want my braid to have, going over the baldness to achieve the coverage that I want to achieve going over the baldness, so that I can create that illusion as if the hair is normal going all the way around. So I don't want to make it obvious that the client had baldness at the top of the head to begin with. I want everything just to look on one level. So me feeding in the hair as I go along to cover over the baldness is so that I can match up the braids at the top to the braids on the side, because braiding the hair on the side was a lot easier for me because there was some hair there. So me feeding in the hair the way I'm feeding in the hair from the start and creating that volume as I go across the crown of the head is to make sure that it looks the same at the top as it does on the side of the head. So there's no, it's not obvious that there was anything wrong with the crown of his head or the top of his head. I just want everything just to look on one level, and I just want the braids to look realistic. And so far you can see that it's looking realistic. The sides are matching up to the top. And I'm so sorry about the lightning and obviously the blurriness. As I said, I lost so much of my footages that I recorded, so I wasn't able to show you guys in full details everything. But so good so far. I'm just proud of this, and I'm glad I was able to showcase this for you guys. So what a transformation. What a transformation. Look at that. Look at that. From a half head of dreadlocks to a full head of cornrows. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Thank you guys for watching.